What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I don't have just like 2 or 3 market watches of information and cards. I have 5 videos worth of discussions in this one video, and while I'll try to keep a timely pace, I'm still pretty drained from the 24-hour stream, and today is also 10% bonus bucks back over on TCG Player. So if you maxed out or you missed out on Friday, slam that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying, or if you are thinking about something else, of course, go ahead and do that. And we will start off with Crooked Cook. Team Sam, I told you I did think that this one would end up going up. Memes often equal money on the market, and even the common is gone alongside the Ultra. DZeef probably was a huge boost for that, as he featured it as this Exodia deck will make people hate you, and when you tell Yu-Gi-Oh players that, they're like, oh yeah, let's go ruin locals. So you should be prepared for this, and if you're not aware, you didn't listen the first time you glazed over, you use Right Shark from Brothers of Legend, it will be indestructible by battle. Then, while you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other card effects, and for strategies that would give your opponent a card, once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card, destroy as many other cards you control as possible, then this card gains 300 attack until the end of the turn for each monster destroyed. So you can even put him in defense, 200 defense. So the only way to end up dealing with this is piercing monsters who would be doing damage, burn loop such as with Sword Soul, or giving your opponent multiple things till this runs out of materials. Those are basically the ways to end up dealing with Crooked Cook or a kaiju. So if you can't deal with this in your deck, expect it to show up at your locals, remote duel regionals even, and be sure you are playing an out in this season so you don't just get Exodia looped and you're sitting there really upset that you did not play an out. Now in the other meme buyout, we have Zombroya the Dark Shatterfoil at 75 grand. I can't say that with a straight face. A lot of pulled listings, then also sales you can see were around $2 to $3. Okay, Simo beat me just that one time when I was supposed to win the Spellcasters. That was the most fun, Spellcasters versus Warriors. But realistically, this is not worth anything near that. Don't even spend like over $7 on this meme. Don't be doing it, okay? Brothers of Legend, what does it say on the screen? It says pre-sale, pre-sale, pre-sale. And what do we say over and over on the channel? Do not be buying TCG Player pre-sales unless you can help it. Usually competition is better elsewhere, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily plans to list, as I understand it, tomorrow or late tonight, but most likely tomorrow. They're getting around to dealing with things, and Tier 0, unfortunately, will unlikely be dealing pre-sales. So they told me they're dealing with the waves and they don't have enough to open versus they would sell out like this and they're scared it would cause some panic. They have very little product to open because they're committed to fulfilling as many orders as possible on the cases that were pre-ordered. They're even knocking on the doors of people who order giant orders. Hey, we will pay you and still get your product on wave 2 if you'll let us go ahead and get this to open for pre-sales, but everybody wants their stuff on wave 1, and what can I say? I would want my stuff on wave 1 also, unless I was super diamond handsing. So with this, we do see the prices are up on boxes ridiculously. The singles are not very hopeful for what they are, but competition is ramping up a little. I would still be steering clear of pre-sales most likely and looking for opportunity cost, aka where other sales still are. We see that this will probably be some of the last cheap goes from the past, and Cyber Monday still applies to Gamer's Choice and code What's Good 10 instead of code What's Good 5 on Big 3 deals. It's the last 2 days for that on Ghosts from the Past 2, as well as the Speed Duel GX boxes, which if you remember the Battle City boxes, those are like double in price. It's a huge box set. A lot of GX cards getting a nice holographic will be pretty awesome. And I do think with Grand Creators, it could be the first set that has collector rares that could be successful, but it still has a huge hill to climb because I feel like a lot of the potential collector rares already have ultimate rares looming ahead of them. So I go back and forth. I'm like, yes, the Yusha tokens, they'll be used so much, and then, oh, but there's only this many pulled per case, meaning the product isn't worth opening. It'll sit on shelves. We'll see how that one turns out, but I do think it's the first collector rare set that is a deck building set, not a world premiere set, because both of those actually hit it out of the park, but a deck building set that could be successful terrible instead of just terrible. But yeah, check out both sales. We have the Masquerade bundles over here, and something sold out we'll talk about later. The Alba Strike Structure Decks. Gamer Choice is going to see if they can get more. Tier 0 has not listed theirs yet, and I do believe Daily will actually be doing singles on that later when we do see what the TCG list is, / they start to get it in hand. Now, cards that are moving due to Black Friday, we have Droll and Lockbird. You can see very few listings on a ton of these. These were already down. They started to return. Nature finds a way, and then they started to get eaten back up off of the market, and he's not the only hand trap. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. These were sinking down to like $16 for some of them, and I'm like, good, at least a $50 place. Nope, back up to 60. So a lot of these are back up in market price, lower on quantities once again, as people are using the sale to go ahead and secure their play sets for long term. I would love to see stuff like this reprinted in Ghost from the past too. Not as just a Ghost Rare, but that would still be pretty cool for the set, right? Then we have Maximum Gold, probably the newest set that has benefited the most from the sale in terms of people getting their cards moving, and also the people up in New York still not having their product till the middle of the week. So there will be coolant moving forward in competition that wasn't there, but Xtrav still floating 18, IP Masquerade passing, and market price towards 20. What can I say? The waifu tax, it never surprises. And then atop the set, access code Talker has gone up about 10-15-ish%, around $65 instead of that $58.59 it was trying to be. Red Eyes Black Dragon, it's around $10-ish now instead of 8, and Invocation falling behind it, which is surprising because people will be grabbing multiple of these, but we see other buyouts like Alistair evening out the prices, and not everybody wants to play the gold rares, right? Then we look at Witchcrafters spiking up. After the amazing Mayakashi support, you have that box in the OCG coming out. They have not revealed this, and the Witchcrafter Creation, an extremely short print card, did get a reprint in Megatins, but the secret rare is still top rarity, and being a short print, people pushed this all the way up towards 35. Madame Vare also bought out, so multiple buyouts along the lines of Witchcrafters without the support revealed yet. Let's see if that pays off for you. Also, where it'll end up in the TCG goes from the past, maybe. They created structure decks for the Prismatic God box, and this is the sister box to that. They're not going to make Mayakashi, Skystrike, or Witchcraft structure decks most likely, so where will these cards end up? There are only 6 new ones. Your guess is as good as mine. Also, Infinitrax alongside that Infinity Tracer buyouts. We saw a Gold series, and I think maybe Brothers. I know Gold did some of the like Urgent Schedule, Leap, those kinds of reprints for the train decks, and the secret rare versions of these are going up, and Harvester is going up for the super rare as well. You should not sleep on this deck. You should be aware of matchup knowledge for it, as a lot of people got familiar in the last couple of metagames, but now people are sleeping on it a little, and you should be aware that these are getting bought out, and the secret rares are going up for a good bit. Also, Anchor Drill, nothing to sneeze at out of the 2022 10s. It's around $2 as well. This deck, it's still pretty budget for the lower rarity version, so if you want it in your arsenal, think about sooner than later. Alba Strike Structure Deck, Alba's Strike. This structure has so many amazing reveals in the OCG already, and people are like, oh, it's gonna get replaced with this or that or that. Look, Xtrav, I actually don't think will get replaced, but do be aware, this is speculation purely, and we've seen Konami sometimes leave stuff in that was surprising. Ash Blossom, Droll, then most recently, pulling out Evenly Matched left a very sour taste in the community's mouth, and of course, Lightning Strike was pulled out of the Cyber Strike structure deck, as that was too soon for a reprint, bro. Well, with Xtrav, we now have 3 printings of this, 2 not short printed in terms of reprints. Like, we have the original Savage Strike, we have the Toon Chaos non-short printed Ultra, and we have the Gold Series non-short printed version. I think it's about time when we turn all the way over next year in the March that we could see this in a structure deck. Duality eventually got there, right? So I don't necessarily think this will get replaced, and I also don't see Ice Dragon's Prison, an $8 card that could see its time finally in a structure, also getting replaced. You might even see it in super rare in the structure deck. What I do think could end up not in there, though, is Dark Ruler No More. As Konami's very aware, reprinting this, despite already having one structure reprint, could actually just completely leech the value of something still sitting on certain shops' shelves, the Spirit Charmer structure deck, which they know is a slow mover. So if I had to throw a dart on the dartboard on what would be missing out, and me thinking with Konami brain versus how they treat stores, Dark Ruler No More versus all 3 of these would actually be my call to be missing from the structure deck. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. comment section down below. I know this is getting completely memed, like, oh yes, we'll get Duality, we'll get like something else, we'll get Chalice over this. Although Chalice is actually kind of going up in price, but it would be a poor replacement, right? And then Effect Veiler's in there, and I think they want Dodge a common version of this. Look how many commons, it's still reasonable at 2. But we are seeing buyouts while we were looking through in the Discord, as Gold Series now sees even a buyout. Every single holo version of this, even the Platinum, the Gold, the ones people are allergic to, they're buying them out just to have a holo Veiler of some kind. When Dual Devastator did give an Ultra, but the quality control, man. Then we have Keeper of Dragon Magic. Everybody's trying to shove this down my throat. Oh my gosh, you should see my DMs. Oh, what do you think of this card? This card's getting bought out, Sean. This card's going, and it is doing numbers, to be fair. Look at the actual sales rates. I understand people are super hyped about the Alba Strike structure deck, and I will say the new fusion is terrible with Verte. The combos all go off of hard having the fusion, going into absurd things as shown in combo cases, such as you go into the red Albaz fusion, and then you're able to go Dragoon from your graveyard by sending fusion substitute cards, and then Albaz is actually a Dark Dragon for Dragoon. Interesting stuff, right? But I will say this card is too fair in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! If this card is normal or special summon, discard a card to add a polymerization normal or fusion's normal spell from your deck to your hand. So this card, if it gets Veilered, Impermed, Ash Blossom, you've -1 and committed this to the field. Just saying, think about that, consider that when playing this card, especially since there's very few ways to actually end up special summoning it, unless you're going through extreme loops. Like, I don't think necessarily that it's the greatest way to search that card. Also, Verte will stop you on the Albaz card being the final summon for the turn, not allowing you to do the crazy combos that people are coming up with. I've seen so many people going, oh, Verte gonna get banned now, get rid of your Vertes, all this stuff, when A, the DPE engine is just taking off, so still Konami could be ban happy, but B, they're still printing broken fusion cards, but they kind of limited how it worked with Verte, which is interesting when you think about it, yes? Next up, we do have a Luber also going with the Alba Strike, tons of Alba Strike impacts. This card gets you a field spell that allows you to fusion summon, and this price may have your eyebrow raised. That's TCG Player Direct, so if you scroll down, it's still going up pretty fast, 42, 45s, and that's people spending 48, 45, 45 consistently. I feel like that this card out of Dawn of Majesty, it's a little overhyped, but Dawn of Majesty's so thirsty for any solid value, and so many people are pointing, Despia will be good one day, we'll see it take off. Well, it's not really taking off quite yet, but it does find a place with the new support. So let me know what you think about the Albaz Strike structure deck. Is it overhyped? People are running 1,000,000 miles per hour saying you can do this combo or that combo, or is it just the right amount of hype with these promising reprints that could translate to the TCG and combos that might have blown your mind a bit? Arch Nemesis Protoss, not everything's up, up, up. We were scrolling through and we saw this was way down in price versus sales just a while ago. Sales were going for 20s, 18s, and it's just continuously gone down despite insane. Look at these sales rates. It's flying off of the shelf in terms of sales rates, yet it's continuously down in price. So why is this? A lot of people aren't on Sword Soul necessarily, and a lot of people who are already grabbed their copies. So people looking at this and didn't get the reprint, it's an insane card, they're still grabbing it, yet it's just becoming more and more available from people even getting off the deck, or people saying, oh yeah, this is up, I'm finally gonna list mine. Oh, there's the sales, I can maybe move a large quantity. So do be aware, despite the actual gameplay of this card, maybe a little bit of banlist fears, but a huge sale rate, that this card's going down in price, and that's very interesting, isn't it? It's nice to see good deals appear versus that kind of thing. And speaking, we need Link here to smash some pots on the market because they are far up in price. Secret Duality up in price, Ulti's getting a lot of traction. Well, that's Desires, my bad, spoilers. Duality also far up in price. The Ultimate Rare just shocking everybody, like crazy. 280, 350, just the craziest prices for this card, and it's actually selling. The 280s, 290s are selling out. Highest all-time for this card, even with metas with True Dracos. This is heavily played in Flunder, top rarity, but other interesting rarities such as Duelist Saga, it's been selling out to absurd proportions. So you might have this even in your bulk. The Duelist Saga version, you might have, back of the binder. Do be aware, you got yourself a $15 card there about, and that's kind of awesome to see with this card. Then you have even the gold selling out similar to Valor. And finally, Dark freaking Bribe. I haven't said that card since DZ series of Why Nobody Plays. And the ultra rare, I think Alenteo hit me up for these forever ago, but then was like, I'm gonna hold off for my collection. And that's the last time I had looked up Dark Bribe. $80+ for the ultra with actual sales in that range, with a light play going for 80. That's crazy. There are two super rare versions out of battle packs. We have War of the Giants as well as the video game promo. And the video game promo is only about $10 with a pretty consistent sales rate. So that's a pretty cool version of it. But, you know, we had all those DLG1, DB1, DR buyouts a while ago, and Dark Bribe did go with that. But it seems like it's really stuck, and people are now actually paying the price for that. So if you look through your old collectibles, cards you've slept on for a while, it is worth going through. Even though the collector market is largely falling out, past formats are getting a lot of vibes, as well as certain collectible stats still digging their heels in the sand / rising. We're seeing a lot of the secret rare market fall out, some ultis fall out, but a lot of the collector market, especially with past format smoke, is way up there. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Hopefully I kept it in a timely manner. It's around 15 minutes, so I did pretty good actually for the information. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Daily should have brothers up tomorrow, fingers crossed, and I do hope Tier 0 finds a solution to where they get a good amount to put up, but otherwise, we're looking for a hero to step on in with some pre-sales. Again, bonus bucks back today. Please slam the TCG player link to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. Subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing this late in the video? Time and time again if you haven't already, and a lot of you have been subscribing. And again, if you enjoyed the conversation, like the video. I really do enjoy getting to do this for a job. The 24-hour stream was a blast. And quick summary, top 8, 3 of the duelists collabed and made a shark deck, and then somebody against one of the shark players was playing a legendary ocean deck where legendary ocean made it to where they couldn't overlay any of their cards, and it was scoop face. Some of the craziest things in the Tournament of Madness. We'll have to record some of these in the future so you guys can watch them. Thanks for watching, everybody.